Welcome to the So You're a Single Parent Now What podcast. My name is Crystal. I am your host, also known as the Six-Figure Single Mom. So I'm the CEO and founder of the Six-Figure Single Mom company, and the Six-Figure Single Mom brand is less about the money and it's more about your mindset shift. So what I've learned in my experience is when you shift your mindset, the money comes. Now the money just doesn't fall from the sky. So there's some things that we have to do, some work that we have to put in behind that. But the first step is shifting your mindset personally and professionally so that you could essentially advance in your career. So what I do is I help single parents to take control of their career and their finances. So I teach them how to leverage their skill sets so that no one beats them in the skill set category. And we also play to their skill sets that they're the strongest in. That's the key, is the lean on the skill sets that you're the strongest in. And I also teach them all the things that they need to know about what it means to grow professionally. We dig into why they want to grow professionally, because you have to keep that momentum going after you finally get to where you want to go. So basically, in a nutshell, I teach single parents how to boss up, right? So I teach them how to go from a defeated mindset to a winning mindset. And it just is so great because I love the transformation from when they first sit down with me to, essentially when they end their coaching sessions. So coming on this podcast and creating the So You're a Single Parent Now What podcast has allowed me to create a positive and safe space for single parents where someone gets it, where we're not getting the side eye, we're not being judged, we're not being told we should have made better choices, we should have did this, we should have did that. So it's a place for single parents to listen and honestly to not feel judged, to be given all things, all the resources, all the things, lifestyle, career, and also single parenting. And I just believe that through networking, connectivity, and collaboration, we can just take the single parent community to the next level. So I love this podcast. I love, recording these episodes for you guys, and I just hope that they're helpful to you. And as always, I always say, if there's something that you want to hear, if there's a topic that you want me to cover, or if there's something that you want to learn, if you deal with something professionally and you want to learn more, then just say, Crystal, can you please have a topic about this? I will definitely do so. So drop down in the comments, guys. Tell me some things that you want me to talk about. I'll definitely make sure that I cover those topics, because the premise of the platform is, like I said, to be given all things lifestyle, career, as well as single parenting. Now, this episode is being sponsored by the Six-Figure Single Mom company. Now, I just went through what it is that I do. So I do career coaching as well as consulting and strategizing with other single parents. So I offer one-on-one coaching. And what that looks like is a 6-week program where you will come and say, Crystal, I want to advance in my career, or Crystal, I want to gain that confidence when I go up to for a promotion, or when I want to negotiate. I want to take your program. So it is a very structured program. It's a very focused, solution-oriented, solution-driven program. It's a high-performing program where when you leave, you will definitely gain the crystal clear clarity that you need in order to advance in your career, and as well as your finances. So I have an MBA. I am an accountant by trade. So what I do in my 9-to-5 is I work in the financial and accounting industry, in the oil and gas industry, LNG industry. So I love what I do. I'm a numbers gal. You put any set of data of numbers in front of me, I can definitely let you know what's going on, because the numbers essentially tell a story. So if you would desire to get the one-on-one coaching, just send me a note on Instagram. So my Instagram is at the Six-Figure Single Mom, or you can send me an email. My email is sixfiguresinglemoms with an S @gmail.com. Now, also too, I have a website, www.sixfiguresinglemom.com. So if you come and say, I just want to meet with you one time, I do have a one-time fee to consult with me. It is an hour long. So if you desire to do that as well, and you say, I don't need 6 weeks, I pretty much have an idea of what I want to do, I just want a few strategies so that they can help me along the way, I offer that as well. And also, if you need to rewrite your resume, if you say my resume is stale, I need a new resume, I need to revamp my resume, I keep it simple in the Six Figure Single Mom Company. So I revamp resumes, but we pull out and extract those keywords that are going to catch recruiters' eyes, that are going to catch these companies' eyes. So I offer that as well. And then for those companies or those, I've had a lot of companies or schools to reach out to me and say, I just want you to come and do some motivational and transformational speaking. I offer that as well. So I want to thank the Six Figure Single Mom Company for sponsoring this week's episode. Now, we are going to move into the topic of our episode. And when I was thinking about this week's episode, I really was trying to take a deep dive into what I wanted to talk about. And what came to me was moving in silence while still making noise. Now, that was a bar. No, I'm just kidding. Moving in silence while still making noise. This is something that I have mastered. So if you ask my friends about me, if you ask my colleagues about me, they call me the quiet storm, right? Because I am extremely introverted, first of all, but I like moving in silence. And the reason why is because most of the time, the ideas that come to me are the things that I want to do. For me, if I were to share that with someone, they'd be like, are you crazy? That's a big idea. However, I know the type of person I am. I know the work ethic that I have, and I know what it takes in order to successfully do that thing that it is that I have in my mind. So a lot of times I've learned to move in silence, but I'm still making noise. In a society where social media has taken over and we kind of live in the microwave society where people feel like things are done overnight, I will be the first to tell you things are not done overnight. I always say on this podcast, I started out making $5.30 an hour. My very first job was at AMC Theaters, and I was making $5.30 an hour. Now, what I did was, and then I got a raise to $5.45 an hour. But what I did was I literally, as a 16-year-old, sat at home and mapped out how many hours I would need to work, how many holidays I would need to work, so forth and so on, to make the money that I wanted to make. So I reverse engineered how much I would need to work in order to make what I wanted to make. So, it's taken me a long time. My first job out of college, let's back up. My internship in college, I was making about 20 grand a year. Interning. And that's only because I worked for Wood Forest Bank, and this was when Wood Forest Bank stayed open 24 hours. So can you imagine how many hours I worked to make sure that I made the money that I needed to make? Now, that was before my daughter. When I had my daughter and I graduated, my first job out of college, I was making $32,700 a year. That's how much my first job out of college I was making. Now, that may seem like a lot to some people, but when you have a child, essentially what you're doing is you're splitting that salary between yourself and your child or children. So it seems like a lot of money, and I don't mean any disrespect for anyone that is making that, but it seems like a lot of money, but it's really not a lot of money. It wasn't a lot of money for me because I wanted to do all the things. I wanted to buy a home. I wanted to ride in a nice car. I wanted to take a vacation every year. I wanted to take my daughter. Now, people that follow me and my daughter, they know we travel every single year, but I wanted to afford the lifestyle that I wanted, that I desired, that I had basically manifested and visualized myself having. So um, what I've learned is I have learned to move in silence, but I still make a little noise. So when I was going on those vacations, or when I do go on those vacations with my daughter, I'll get a lot of feedback like, man, you go on vacations with your daughter a lot. Or when I get a job that requires me to travel for work, there'll be a lot of people saying, man, it must be so fun to travel for work, right? So I'm not telling them what I'm doing. I'm moving in silence, but I'm making a lot of noise. So I've mastered that. Now, the reasons why I thought about you may want to move in silence, but while still making noise is that, again, the first reason is that most people won't understand your logic. And it's not for you to explain to them. If they don't get it and you get it, then that's you. You know, your logic makes sense to you. Now, what I've learned also about people is that when you do start making noise and it does become popular, people will jump on board with that, right? But you don't have to share with them, you know, what you want to do. You know, allow yourself some time to strategically create the things that you want to do, to think through some of those things that you want to do. You know, it's okay to hold something back for a little while before releasing it to the public so that your thoughts are all together. That's okay. Another reason I thought about is that it allows you to drown out the noise that comes along with your ideas. Now, sometimes when you take ideas to people, you know, sometimes their feedback is not really what you were looking for, and it may kill that confidence that you have in whatever it is that you're working on. So kind of keep some of those, you know, things that you're working on to yourself, kind of move in silence so that you don't get all the feedback, you know, that you don't need. After all, this is your thing. So it's yours to keep close. It's yours to keep kind of silent until you've, you know, shown or until you feel like you want to come out with it. Another reason why you may want to move in silence while making a little noise is that it allows you to tweak your ideas without someone else holding you to the fire of what your initial plan was. Now, what I've learned is, and what I actually learned at the Resilient Parent Brunch from one of the speakers, Tynesha, she said, marry the destination, but not necessarily the details. What that means is, marry the end goal, but you may have to tweak some of the details along the way because there's going to be some roadblocks, right, that come into your way. And you want to make sure that you have contingency plans for those roadmaps, but you want to make sure that someone's not sitting there saying, well, I knew that you weren't going to do it that way. You said that you were going to do that way, and now you're doing it a completely different way. Did something not work out? Did something backfire on you? So you don't want to have people saying, you know, well, you're holding you to the fire of what your initial plan was, right? Because we don't marry the details of the destination. We marry the destination, right? So that could be another reason why you just might want to move in silence a little bit. Another thing that I thought about is that sometimes it's just good to have something to keep to yourself. You know, I love just having things to keep to myself. And it, like I said, it just allows me to feel like I'm making decisions on my own. It allows me to feel like I, you know, created something. So in life, sometimes we can have that feeling of accomplishment by feeling like we created something. You know, you start getting input from all these people, then that thing that you created may turn out to be something that you didn't even want in the first place. Because now, you know, it doesn't have the crystal touch to it. You know, it doesn't have your touch to it. It has this person's touch and that person's touch and this person's touch. So kind of keep something for yourself so that you have that feeling of accomplishment that you created something and that this thing that you created actually panned out, right? It actually worked out in your favor. It actually was successful. You know, and you got to hold that idea to yourself, or that thing that you were working on. You actually got to hold that from inception to date, right? And then I like moving in silence and making it while making some noise because a lot of times it shows me that, you know, I got the juice, you know? So we need that confidence in ourselves. We need that confidence in the skills that we bring and the things that we can get done. And we just sometimes need that confidence because life will beat you down. I'm the first to tell you, if you don't stay in a positive, winning mindset, life can really beat you down, right? But if you hold some things back and you see them all the way through from inception to date, then you can pat yourself on the back and say, guess what? I got the juice. That thing that I said I was going to do, I saw it from inception to date. Roadblocks did present themselves, but I had contingency plans for them, for those seen and unseen. And I actually pushed through or pushed past whatever it was that came into my way. And I actually did what I said I was going to do. Remember, it's not about saying what you're going to do. It's about actually doing the thing that you said you were going to do, right? We can talk about it. I say this all the time. We can strategize, we can plan, we can schedule, we can do all these things that it takes in order to make sure that a plan is carried out. But without the execution piece, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You've wasted your time. And I saw a quote online earlier that says something like, if you spend too much time dreaming, it takes away from the time that you can spend doing. Right? So spend the time doing. Now, that's all I have for you this week. As I was thinking about this week's episode, I'm like, you know what? I really want to talk about, because sometimes people ask me, sometimes I'll just pop up and it's something grand. And sometimes my friends say, you know what? Who are you? Like, who is this person that just will pop up, with something? And, I say, they always tell me, I've mastered moving in silence. And it's not a slight to anyone else. It's just that I want to make the things that I say I want to do, I want to bring them to fruition. So I want them to actually happen. And sometimes I feel like the only way that I'm going to do that is if I move in silence, if I drown out the noise, if I have uninterrupted, undistracted time, and if I don't have everybody else's logic in this thing that I want to do, I feel like I can actually accomplish anything. I can conquer the world. And that's truly how I feel. Now, I hope you've picked up a few gems from this week's episode. Always remember that it's okay to move in silence, because sometimes when moving in silence, you'll still make a little noise. Now, again, my name is Crystal Smith. I am your host. If you are not following me on Instagram, please follow the channel at The Six Figure Single Mom. Again, at The Six Figure Single Mom. Also, I am on LinkedIn as the Six Figure Single Mom Company. So I'm on LinkedIn as Six Figure Single Mom Company. So you can follow me there as well. And also, I have a website. The website is www.sixfiguresinglemom.com. And you can also email me at sixfiguresinglemoms@gmail.com. I would love for you to connect with me on whatever platform or whatever your way of connecting with me is. Come connect with me. If you want to advance in your career, you don't have to make a commitment. Like I said, I do have a one-time consulting opportunity for you. So reach out to me. If you want to get your resume intact, reach out to me. I would love to help you. Always remember that change starts with you. If you see a lane that's not covered, if you see something that is not being done, do it. What's stopping you? Right? So change starts with you. So be the change that you want to see in this world. Listen, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment down below. Let me know how you move in silence. Let me know if you could get better at moving in silence. I'd love to hear it. My name is Crystal Smith, again, also your host, known as the Six Figure Single Mom, checking out. Until next time, bye.